Hello, this is your Sleepless Scout again. What if Percy was trained by Persephone and Hades? Part 6. Love this what if sometimes. Favorite book series, you know how it is. But last time we left off, they basically were planning out how to go to the mission. Basically, Talia and Luke were going off to the mission. And Percy, Annabeth, and Tyson were going to come off secondary. Now, Percy and Annabeth were supposed to plan out what they were supposed to do, but Percy didn't even think the first part of the mission would be successful. So I was super surprised when the first part was successful and did not have a second part. But luckily enough, Luke's dad helped him out, basically gave him some advice, got into the Queen's Anne's Revenge, and hopped onto the boat. And Annabeth got separate rooms from Percy and Tyson, and they all went to bed. Tyson basically saying, like, before he went to bed, like, yeah, what are we supposed to do? And like Tyson being like, I understand now, I just need to protect people. As when they went to bed, Percy woke back up and realized that Tyson's gone and his spear is gone as well. So that's where the last time we left off. Let's start the video. So when Percy saw that, he instantly went from like, to attack mode. So he grabbed Riptide, his pen from the dresser that was right in front of him, and then he grabbed his necklace, he put it on. And then he went straight to the door and started listening. He started hearing small chatter. Like he hears slithering. He hears like some claws as he opens the door and he starts looking around and no one's there. As he shuts it, as he went up to Annabeth's room, knocks on it quietly, no one answers, and now he's getting worried, very worried, like very, very worried. And then the door suddenly opens and a hand grabs him. It's Annabeth. Tyson's in the room as well. The door shut very quietly, very stealthily, as all of them are now in the room. And Percy's like, what the frick is going on, bro? He says, there's monsters on this ship. So I guess, what do you mean by that? He says, this is the ship where Clarice is. As he looks up and he says, oh shit. He says, yeah. Tyson saw them last night, came into my room to warn me. We've been camping out in this room all night. So he's like, you didn't warn me? He's like, you were fast fucking asleep. You're not going to wake your shit up. Plus, I know you could handle it yourself. It's like, Percy's like, thank you, but like, also, remember. But it's like, okay, stealth out of here. So they both unlock the door. Now, Tyson puts his spear on his back, like a backpack full of tools, and put her dagger on and ready to fight as sword and pen. Pen and necklace. They walk out. As they start walking, as Percy says first, let's look at the area. Now, they start looking at the area basically like the layout basically of like the actual ship itself, and luckily there is a map to show them like the top deck, the bottom deck, and like the very bottom like deck, like the crew area where. And they start walking around and they see like people, lots of people, a lot more people than they thought, because they saw like families, but they also saw like gorgons and like wolves, like hellhounds, and like he's looking around and he's like, what the fuck? But Percy's trying to keep that, like, he sees everyone else looking happy, successful, like really joyful, and he's like, oh fuck. And he went from like looks serious to a joyful look, and he looks at Annabeth and he just says, "Play it off." Like quietly, he says, "Play it off," and he keeps on walking, and like Tyson, right behind him, being like, "It's like, ooh, it's like, play it off. Just be happy. Just be happy right now." As they're like, "Oh, okay, let's smile." Look around, smiling. Blah. As he hears something, keen hearing, he looks around as he hears a cock of a hammer and a fire. And before the bullet goes out, he grabs Annabeth and moves her to the side as he sees a streak of a bullet, and it lodges into the wooden. As he looks up, as he sees a boy, a little bit older than him, probably like 2 years older than him, probably, how old is he? 13 right now, probably 15, with a gun, a 6-shooter. As the entire gun is made out of metal, but except the bullets. He looks around. He looks at the round, and it's celestial bronze bullets. As he cocks the hammer back again and aims the trigger. As he looks at Annabeth, tossing her the bag with all the stuff, and just says, "Find a bow. Tell me when you're close." As he grabs his black blade, fully enlarging it. Next shot, boom, slashes the shot, cocks the gun again. Next shot, boom, slashes that, boom, 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 like direct fire right at his chest, boom, boom, boom. As Percy runs, hitting one of the tables, launching up as he starts to unload, unclip, delodge the bullets, and start reloading the gun. As Percy hits the gun out of his hands, smacks him in the face, and lands on top of the roof of the Queen's End Revenge, or the top of the captain's area, technically. Like there's the bottom, like kind of poop deck section where like all like the people are and the slides, and everyone's still there, smiling, having happy fun. Some of them are running away, like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And some of the monsters are growling, and some of the monsters are fearing. As he lands on top, as the kid hits down onto one of the tables and smashes them down. As he starts, as he hears the bullet casings drop, like he was already unloading the gun, as he just hears the bullet casings drop, as he hears one other stomping of like boots and armor. As he looks over and he sees Clarice and 2 ginormous men. As he looks over and he just says, as he looks at the other kid who is still, loading the rounds. It's going to take him a little bit, plus to re-aim. As he looks over at Clarice, and he just says, "Hey, a long time no see." As he starts walking on the top, as you see Clarice almost growl in anger, as his teeth kind of clench together. It's like, "Yeah, long time no see, Percy Jackson." As he's like, "Yeah," as he's basically, what Percy's doing when he's walking across is he's trying to find an angle where he has no the kid doesn't have a shot on him, and Percy's like, wait a second, as he looks around and he says, "Wait one more second." There, as he finds the spot, it's right just enough to the left where things are blocking his path, the view of the sunlight hitting him in the eyes, that he don't have to move enough where Percy's going to see him. As he stands directly and he moves directly at him, and he says the big guys, and he says, "I see you got some new recruits." He says, "Yeah, Orgulus and Orga are two new recruits. I completely forgot their names. I'm sorry. I know, like, both brothers, one smart, one dumb." He's like, So, new recruits, just looks at the hellhounds, scattering around. Some of them growling, some of them looking like back, like they knew what this can do. Like he knew, like they knew what this man can do to them. As he started, he using the corner of his eye as he starts looking around for Annabeth and Tyson. As Tyson, he's a big boy. Starts talking now. He just says, "See, you also got a new guy over there." Says, he points over to the kid, white hair with a gun in his hand, just pointing at him, but can't get a good shot. Just ready to fire if necessary, but doesn't know if he's actually aiming correctly or not. He says, "Yeah, got more than that too. More of our traditional kind, who just wants our freedom back, our hero status. You can have that, Clarice, all you want, but that's not going to change a thing." Says, "Didn't the gods wrong you enough? Put you in a fucking quest, you have to fight one of them?" Says, "Yeah, but they also saved me. If the gods didn't take me in, or my god at least, my favorite one, I'd be a bumbling idiot crossing the street right now, probably almost getting hit by a car, or maybe I would be dead. You gotta understand though, I do not curse the gods for what I have to do, I just make them have a responsibility for their actions. Like thus, we are what we have to make." As Corliss grabs her spear, now inflamed, instead of just lightning, and points it at Percy and just says, "So you want to give the gods free will but have consequences like little kids? You can't do that, Percy." As he looks in the corner and he sees Annabeth and Tyson going on the rowboat. He says, "Maybe not, but the gods gotta learn some way. And you can't just rip them apart because you don't like the system. You gotta change the system and make it better. And sometimes you do crumble it. I understand that, but you will have to rebuild. And not with just madness and anger. You have to rebuild with control and fury, not in mind, but in power." As he runs off, as he hears bang, as right where his area was, he just enough blockage where the bullet run, he got enough room away from it that the bullet, just scraped past his back of his head, and he launched it off the boat. As he felt the arrows go next to him, as he cut one in half, as he launched at the boat, as he used his water abilities, plus Annabeth using the wind to blow them away, as he flicks off Clarice as he says, "Fuck you, bitch." As he starts flowing, as they start going quicker and quicker and quicker, as they slowly slow down, as Annabeth's still using some of the wind, but mostly Percy using his powers to use the water to push forward. As Annabeth says, what were you talking about with Clarice?" He says, "She was talking about how she wants to rip the gods apart. So, the dumb stuff of the world." He says, as Annabeth's, capping the full container of the wind and putting it back in the bag, looking at him, she says, "Yeah, but you said something, didn't you?" He says, "I said you shouldn't tear down the system, you should make it better, and that the gods should also have consequences over their actions, even if they're almighty. But I also figured out that I am not a person you should talk about political powers, especially the gods." As Annabeth says, you're wiser than you think, you know that, right?" He says, "I know, but I'm also dumber than you think as well. I'm a fucking idiot." As he says, Do you think you got a place here, like anywhere you could maybe rest, like parents' places? Right when he says parents' place, he's she's like, no, not here. But do you know our coordinates? As instantaneously, Percy said their coordinates. As she's like, oh, got it, the sea. You know everything about the sea, don't you? So I guess so. I guess I didn't even know. As um, Annabeth says, yeah, I got a place pretty close to this. They land at a little island, a little place with like a little, like a kind of like a little place where they stayed, where Annabeth, Luke, and Talia were at back when they were kids. As Percy looks at there and just says, huh, roomy. I like it. As Annabeth says, yeah, you better get used to it. Because I don't know for long that we're going to be using, as he looks over at the little robot that is literally getting ripped apart by the sea because of how fast they were going. I don't think we're going to be using that for much longer. Says, you'll figure it out, Annabeth. She taps her on the head and leans down and just says, you always do. As closes his eyes. As Percy goes back for another snooze because he didn't really get to finish the second one. His nap, and it's been a long morning. As this is where we're going to end off the what if. I hope you guys like it. Just remember that please comment down below. Please comment. I love your comments. It makes me laugh a little bit. Comment memes. No memes. But also subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.